Right. Um, we'll first talk about software versions. In reality, of course, software makers, they came up with different versions because there's always something new that they want to offer. For example, Windows XP is for multimedia, right? Then they get Windows Vista, which is different. Before Windows XP, or rather, pretty much the same time, Windows XP is Windows 2000, right? So Windows 7, for example, is geared more towards laptops, and Windows 8 is, for example, geared more towards tablets and smartphones, right? So with different software versions, the software makers give different emphasis, and so they have different things. Like for example, different user interface is slightly different. They give the users different experience, right? Now, aside from software versions, every now and then, from version to version, there will be software updates. For example, Microsoft is roughly around 3 to 4 years. They have different versions. They will release a new version, but in between there will be lots of updates, right? Meaning the updates can do many things. They can add features, for example, there's a new button, or with this update you can do this or that, right? Or they can say they want to fix bugs. They didn't realize it when they first published a software. There's actually certain mistakes that they made, right? They want to fix that, fix bugs, or there's security fixes. Because once you release a software after a few months or a few years, 1 or 2 years, maybe a few months, people can already hack in, for example. Bad people can do bad things, right? Or mistakenly do bad things. So they can rectify that by having security fixes, right? So there are different types of updates. We have patches, which are minor, little updates. We have service packs. These are major updates, right? In fact, some service packs are treated as if they are software versions themselves. For example, Windows XP Service Pack 1, Windows XP Service Pack 2, in which case sometimes certain application software will work with a certain OS with a certain service pack only. Right? For example, I've had experience where certain software that I purchased, or a certain license that I purchased, says this will only work with Windows XP version Service Pack 2, for example. Right? So another way of saying these major updates is called maintenance releases. Right? So maintenance release, people see it as somewhere in between the patches and service packs. Patches are things that is like regular update kind of thing. You know, if you have your Windows update on, every now and then it will update things. Right? Maybe in a week you have 1 or 2 updates. These are called patches. Right? Service packs are more like I said earlier, it's like the software versions themselves. Right? Whereas maintenance releases are bigger updates. Right? You can see it as something in between the patches and service packs. Some people even see it as service packs themselves. It's just that maintenance releases are indicated by these decimal numbers. Right? For example, for Android, we have Android 2.3, or Android 4, we have Android 4.2 Jelly Bean, or Android 4.4 KitKat, etc. Right? So with regards to Android, at least, instead of naming their software Android 4 Service Pack 2, they actually name it Android 4.2 or Android 4.4, which indicates maintenance release. Right? So it is almost on par with service packs. So I see that something in between patches and service pack. Right? Now, with regards to whatever software you're trying to install on your computer, you need to know whether or not your system can cope with it. Right? So to be able to know, software makers have a list of system requirements. These are the list of things, or minimal level of system competency, so that you'll be able to handle the software that you actually want to install and run, right? So usually it states things like OS, what OS you're currently using, whether or not your OS can actually handle the software or open the software. System utilities, for example, DirectX, certain device drivers, and then the regular things will be CPU, what is your processor, how much RAM do you have, and do you have graphics card, sound card, network card, etc. It depends on the software, right? So, like I said earlier, system requirement is the minimal level of system competency for you to be able to install and run the software. This is to say that if you have more than the minimal level, it's better. You can run the software much smoother. So it's a good idea to have a higher than minimal level for the system requirements. Meaning if your, let's say, system requirement says 1 gig of RAM, it's better if you have 2 gigs of RAM, right? So needless to say, once you've installed the software, install means you put software inside, hard disk drive, drive from whatever packaging it came from, right? Once you put inside hard disk drive, then you can choose to launch it. Launch means you just double click on the icon and the software is loaded from hard disk drive to RAM. This is launch it. Of course, you know what uninstall is. Take it away from the hard disk, right? And then quitting or exiting is where you undo the launch, meaning you just press on the X, right? So these are the four terms: install, launch, uninstall, exit, or quit, and then uninstall, right? Uninstall, which is taking the software outside from your hard disk, meaning take it away from your hard disk, you uninstall, right? So that is about it for week 5 lesson.